It's 3 a.m. Production servers are down. Thousands of users are locked out of the app, and every second the company is bleeding money. You log in and stare at a wall of broken code, trying to spot the error, but you have no idea where to start looking, because you didn't actually write this code, an AI did. This is the reality of vibe coding. You drop a prompt into a chat window, copy the output, and ship it because the basic tests passed. It feels like productivity, but you're operating on a surface-level understanding, unaware of how the underlying logic functions. A developer recently used this approach to build a search feature. They prompted an AI, received a working autocomplete function, and integrated it in 15 minutes. It was deployed just in time for Black Friday. Relying on the immediate dopamine hit of a green checkmark creates a false sense of security. It masks a lack of technical depth that only becomes visible once the system is under actual pressure. When the Black Friday surge hit, the site crashed entirely in 4 minutes. With the checkout flow broken, the company began losing $12,000 every minute. The crash was traced back to the AI-generated search feature. It lacked a debounce function, a standard safeguard that delays processing until a user finishes typing. Without that delay, typing running shoes fired 12 separate, heavy queries in rapid succession. When 50,000 shoppers did this at once, the database CPU pegged at 100% and stayed there. When management asked why there was no rate limiting or debouncing, the developer's defense was, "It worked in testing. I didn't realize this would be a problem." The developer yielded the architectural design to the AI, skipping the evaluation of whether the code could survive a production environment. They offloaded critical edge case handling to a model that has no context for real-world scaling. AI productivity often follows a deceptive timeline. While the initial code generation takes 10 minutes, hours are frequently lost later debugging edge cases or fixing architectural mismatches in production. Computer scientist Brian Kernighan observed that debugging is twice as hard as writing code. If you use AI to produce code at the absolute limit of your understanding, the resulting bugs are effectively impossible for you to troubleshoot efficiently. You find yourself stuck in a loop of trial and error, prompting the AI repeatedly to fix the errors it created because you never built a mental model of how the code works. Contrast this with a senior developer who reads the same stack trace, recognizes a race condition in the payment logic, and deploys a fix in minutes. This speed comes from a deep mental model of the system. By building and breaking things themselves over years, they've developed the pattern recognition required to see through the noise of a production crash. Real development velocity is the total time it takes to move from an idea to stable, maintainable code. High-speed typing is irrelevant if the resulting system is fragile. Vibe coding carries a long-term cost, cognitive skill atrophy. Within months, your ability to solve difficult engineering problems begins to decay. Turning to a chatbot first trains the brain in prompt engineering rather than the core skill of logical problem solving. You are skipping the mental struggle that actually facilitates learning. Senior developers integrate AI into their workflow, but they use it to eliminate friction rather than replace their own technical judgment. They use it for boilerplate they've already mastered, configuration files, or to quickly compare 3 different architectural approaches before selecting the one that fits their specific context. They maintain clear boundaries, keeping AI away from core business logic, critical execution paths, and security-sensitive code. By designing the solution themselves first, they ensure the final system is built on their own foundational knowledge, using automation only to accelerate the mechanical process of implementation. You have a choice between 2 paths. You can continue vibe coding for immediate speed, but you will hit a career ceiling as you become more replaceable by the very tools you rely on. Alternatively, you can accept a slower pace today to build deep mental models. This path requires you to treat AI as a secondary tool while you develop the specialized skills that remain in high demand. Try this. Take a feature you recently built with an AI assistant. Delete it. Rebuild it using only documentation and your own logic. Force yourself to justify every trade-off and every line of code. It will be slower and more difficult, but mastering the process of true comprehension is the only way to remain a highly valued, unstoppable developer in an automated world.
Thank you. Share and subscribe to Learn AI for more AI insights.